Yeah, big welcome to you, my dear Taurus. And of course, a very big welcome to all the other zodiac signs that felt looking into this reading. Because, like I said, it is again and again the privilege for me, while I'm doing these readings, to recognize in some of the stories my own story, my own learning process that I'm going through, and it has helped me to go through situations that seemed sometimes quite difficult. And I was able to understand that when the sun is in the moon, in the divine love, that our ego can see things from another perspective, because all of a sudden the ego is in a dark satellite, because the moon is a satellite turning around our earth and has no light in its own, and the sun is for a whole month in this sign and is learning to see things from a completely different perspective. The sun is the ego, which is the head, and Pisces are our feet. So you can see there is something happening, and of course what's happening up there we all feel. Then the moon is in your sign, in Taurus, and of course the moon, the subconscious, the intuition, sitting on a throne, being like a Hierophant, being like a spiritual teacher, the high priest, because Hierophant means in Greek high priest, being a high priest that gets the message, has the number 3 on its head, and also the 3 lines and 3 people creating a triangle. I mean, everything has its meaning. The 2 towers, where the lobster comes through the wolf into the dog, passing through the duality, the towers of duality. You also have 2 towers here. And so there is a valuable message here that's coming to you through the head, through down into the feet, into back into your head, into the teaching that we need now from the church, or that we need generally from a high priest. This is a mutable sign and you are a fixed sign. And here the divine love is the main word, and for you the value. And so what does this divine love make you value new? And how does your value come into the divine love that you now bring to people? Right? So there's a message in itself right here. Then I show you the yoga position that I created for this card, which is Pisces, fish pose, jumping fish in the moon, down dog, the wolf, up dog. Then the dog that has evolved. And for you, I created the first movement. Here, inhale, I go up to this message. Exhale, I bow down, and I really bow down. I bow down to myself, and then I bow down to the earth, because you are the most grounded earth sign. And I created another card, a little similar but a little different down here, because I wanted the error that's coming down, the message comes down effortlessly. And it's also when we bow down, it's an effortless energy to go down. But when we come back up, that's effort, that's action, that's red, that's the red dress, and the golden energy, it's coming down. And so here we have again the hexagram in the center, and the pentagram, the number 5, because this is the 5th card, but you're the 2nd zodiac sign. So this is the movement, a movement, because the church needs to create a movement, otherwise it will be disappearing, because the age of Pisces is disappearing, right? We are moving into the age of Aquarius, because this wobble that the earth does lasts 2,150 years, and now it's time that this energy goes into, it's the end of 2,000 years, it's the end to go into the age of Pisces, and that's a whole different ball game. And that's also where then the church has a whole new meaning and needs to adapt to this change. You are the King of Pentacles, and if your birthday is between April 10th and May 9th, this is your court card in my reading. You are, of course, a rich man, and just to say that if your birthday is before or after, look in the description below. I have listed all the dates. Maybe you are a Taurus but have a different court card, and it's very interesting. When you look at the court card, you start realizing, wow, I am this, but maybe you already, because the next card is the Knight of Swords. So the combination creates a whole different personality, and it's very interesting because this happens to me. I'm a Virgo, but I already have the Queen of Swords. I don't have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the Virgo. So this is your card, and I looked into the Medicine Woman Tarot to look into the past, where you're coming from, and I'm also incorporating the last reading in a minute. But these two cards came up, and I can see the Six of Wands and the Tower. So something happened, something profound happened to you. You woke up, and it's saying revolution brings inspiration, and the way we think is breaking or falling apart. And that is very clearly to the church, that is very clearly a message to institutions that have been for hundreds of years controlling the people with their money, with their knowledge, because the church is one of the richest institutions there is, controlling things and wanting to hold on to their power. And this is shifting and changing now, because the message is very clear. The church is being highlighted very strongly through the moon or the sun in the moon. It's like it's looking deep into the subconscious, looking deep into these institutions, and it's realizing, we are realizing that it's not all that great. These are human beings as well, but they have a difficulty to acknowledge their wrongdoing. Because, I mean, we do have to incorporate the shadow side, otherwise the shadow is haunting us. And if we incorporate the shadow, it all of a sudden becomes one with the light, because, I mean, that's what it is. To acknowledge that we're not perfect, to acknowledge that we do make mistakes, to acknowledge that we do want to learn and grow, is all that is needed. And that's what I feel that these two are creating, this union. And it's very interesting because your last message was, the starlight sees the bee's vibration and thus brings the power of the cosmic egg that you had last time. And it's about the animals, it's about the bees. And cosmic consciousness is highlighting the importance of the bees. And the bees are really in danger to be killed, to be annihilated through human connections that we are with the pesticides and with all the bad things that we are actually do to these animals. It's like I feel there is a reconciliation. There is like something, this is Jupiter in Leo, and there is like a recognition that the animals feel, that you recognizing that you have created this shift, that you have created the awareness. You particularly, you are rich, you are connected with the earth, and you're these kind of institutions that need to shift and change. And it's very interesting because the banks are now giving loans for work that is helping the animals, or helping now, or it's very interesting that the bank is interested now in becoming aware as well, because people vote with their money. This kind of money you vote with. Where do I put my money? In which bank do I put my money? What is the bank doing with my money? So we gotta really look at that, and we gotta really look at where is now the connection that we can give to these animals. And I think you are really looking at that from a whole new perspective. Then, and bring that perspective also to us. Then came this card. I'm gonna put the king next to it. And here the king sits alone, and here there is a relationship. There's a relationship that is helping you to, and it's always when a relationship is a good one, a partnership, first of all, that we feel that we are inspired to step up and become a better person. And this is what this card says. Partnership. Once you have decided to walk your path in partnership, you must put the relationship first. So it's interesting, there's two words. Is when you walk your path in a partnership, you must put the relationship first, which is then the 24, which is the 6, which is connected to the lovers. So there is a relationship happening to you that is bringing out, and now very interesting, is bringing out the mental aspect of you, this 10 of swords, the 10 of voices, and it's really shifting you. It's really like making you realize, okay, I've got to let go. Now there is this triangle. I'm going to put this down. There's this triangle. If it had come like this, the triangle is pointing down. The message is coming down. Right? The triangle facing down, but you have a triangle pointing upwards, and it's saying you got to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to create these relationships and make out of these relationships something special. So let's see the 10 of voices. The words. Now, in this card, there is no reverse meaning to it. There's only the muse inspiration, and the keywords are a painful truth or realization, despair, victimhood, being stabbed in the back, deception or betrayal, harsh endings, delusion, seeing the world in a completely new way, an opportunity to begin anew. And that's what I feel. You begin new because it's upside down, and the triangle is pointing upward, and the triangle in the yoga position is saying, do the work. Get up and do the work. The only way that we can overcome any mental stuff that is occupying us and is putting us, and this is just in your head, it's not a physical thing. The only way to get out is to become active, to do, to get out and to help the young people, to help a business, to help a cooperation, to create something that helps, to stand up for the bees, or to go and really look, where can I put now my knowledge, where can I put my awareness in that inhale I come up and exhale I bow down. Where can I bring my knowledge and even my money into this new vibration that is coming to me, because then comes the Emperor, which is Aries, which is then in the next month, where the sun is going into Aries. Right? Soon, on the 21st of March, we have then the sun in Aries. And Aries is already here. Aries is already speaking to you. So if you let go of this and start being active and start being really action oriented and saying, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna take myself up from the throne and stand up and going out, and I'm gonna do the movement, and I'm gonna help this new generation, help these young people that are more conscious than anything else, because it's always the grassroots generation that is actually changing the old, the patriarch and even the matriarch, the old that is saying, well, we've always done it like this, so we're gonna stay like this. So you getting up and waking up, and then comes, look at this, the ant. So I'm gonna put this back there as well. And we're gonna look at the fire ant, which is then of course a fire sign. And of course, fire and fire, so something is really happening in you. Aggression, rigid thinking, and following orders. Okay. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. Now, look at this. Look at this. These like little ants here. You see that? And this is so cool. Sometimes really the combination of these cards creates a story that I could have never told. So here is the center. Here's the center. Here is the core. Here is the fire ants core energy, and the same is happening here with this dress. And then here are all these little ants that are connected with the emperor. And I just want to read fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. Now, like I said, okay, this is a little bit of a different story. So this situation here, this mental situation, is definitely creating within you, or there's a person that is creating within you some imbalance. And ants are, like she says in the book, are very sensitive, and actually are hard workers. So you've got to understand that this mental energy that is like now even upside down, this mental energy is got to shift, and you got to realize that this emperor cannot just control the people the way he wants. He got, and you got, and because you have the emperor now in your reading, you've got to awaken. You've got to realize that a partnership with animals, again the animals, that a partnership with them and not going against them is something that you have to learn, is something that you've learned in the past, that you learn more and more to execute, more and more to live that. Because then comes the Queen of Swords, and she is very clear, she's very cool, she's connected with this one bird, she's like knowing what needs to be done. She's not like in this fire energy. You are invited to realize, you're invited to awaken, now within you, behind you, this force. Because if the fire ant, if you use it in a good way, you can move that energy forward. You can shift these 10 into one thought. And this is what it does. It feels like the triangle that's pointing upward and the movement that you are going up and looking for the information is by focusing this fire ant into the core, into your core, and then you have that one thought. You have that triangle that's pointing up to this one bird, and you are realizing, okay, I can do this. I can do this focused energy. I can do this, and I can overcome this into a very cool poised energy and move this energy forward into the richness, into the money, and where I'm gonna put the money, into the 10 of Pentacles. And you know that only through communities, through small little businesses, again, these big businesses, they don't work. We need to do smaller businesses again, where there is a consciousness, where there is value, because you are about value. You are putting your money, you are cleverly thinking about this and knowing where I'm going to put my money, where I'm going to put this richness that you have within you, where I'm going to put my money, where I'm going to spend my money, but also how I'm going to create myself a very conscious brand that is inspiring others to do the same. Many small businesses are much more sustainable than these big corporations that are just thinking about exploiting and making more money for themselves, but not for the workers. And that is going to give you the success, a success going up into the Miss Sunshine, into the number 8. And it's going to be successful if you are creating this business for animals, for plants, for humans. Then you're going to be successful. You're going to then get the money literally coming. The Ace of Pentacles. More money will then come, more money will grow, and I saw the card jumping out and I knew it was upside down. Because I literally saw how the card came out and it just turned gently. So I knew it was upside down, and I was able to consciously turn it up right. You understand? And otherwise it would have been like this. So I'm gonna give you the message, both messages. And again, that is this message. Inhale, go up, get the information. Exhale, go down and bring the information down. So I'm going to do this one first. Wasted opportunity, unhealthy choices, lack of focus, impractical approach. Opportunity, manifestation, investment, growth, achievement, rewards, and gift. So, if you do this, you will have money grow again. And look how this is creating a relationship, a partnership, not like I'm gonna abuse, I'm gonna suck whatever I can out of the earth. No, I'm gonna work in a relationship. I'm gonna work in a relationship with the earth. I'm gonna work in a relationship with plants and animals, with the whole planet, which is a living human being. If you watch Matthias De Stefano, the earth is a planet that is like a human being. And so here you are creating consciously the same way I saw how it turned upside down, and I consciously turned it up. I consciously go up and get the information so that I can bring the powerful energy down to the people and become myself here in these readings, a high priest or a high priestess, and change the things that we humans can change here on Earth. Because then comes the messenger of water, which is Pisces. Here comes then the energy of pure love, of divine love, will come down, and the only way is by divine love, will shift the curse through the element of water, through the emotions, through the understanding that we have to shift the seahorse, because the seahorse is the male that gives birth to the babies. We have to understand that we have to change consciousness here by bringing that ego into the feminine, into the moon, into the movement, into the grassroots movements, into the small, into the little ant, into everything that is worth watching how it grows. Not into this, right, these emperor style, these I am on my throne and I am doing however I want to do. That doesn't work anymore. And of course the war that is out there right now. I mean, it's clear that the feminine needs to clear the curse. And I'm gonna read you the curse and then the water. The essence, the curse, refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. It is the source of negative patterns, and it can show up as a disease, a destructive force, or a blockage on our creative energy. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. Recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it. The invitation: it is time to recognize the source of our limitations. Did your grandparents live with a mindset of scarcity? Did you inherit genes for heart disease? Were you a slave or a master in a past life? This karmic legacy is ready and waiting to be seen, to be untangled, and to be released. Honor the players and their stories. Forgive everyone and everything. Craft a new life. Curse for yourself. That's it, right? I don't need to say much more. So that is the curse and the path of love. The sun in the moon, the path of love, the Piscean path of love, of divine love that has broken down shields, that has now opened you up to be with the animals, that has made you look at your money and knowing that all this money needs to be now used in a partnership, in a relationship with people, and allowing this frozenness, allowing these 10 of voices to break out with the understanding that you need to take action, you need to focus, you need to realize that everything is in your power, because when you cool and when you up with that one thought, because that action is bringing your money to the level of a success, a real success that is saying, yes, you can do that because you have turned yourself, the card, upside up, right? You are the one that creates that movement. You are the one that says, I go inhale up and exhale. I bring the energy down effortlessly. When I make a little effort and I go up, I exhale, bring it back down. And then the path of love is shifting this curse, and the healing waters of this energy is healing the curse. In the essence, water symbolizes purification, regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift from former self to new self. Many myths around the world speak of a great flood and the new life that is revealed after a deluge. Water begins without boundaries. Then as soon as form has separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time and life, thus acquiring limitations. The invitation. When water arrives, you're invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable and do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. Yes, go with it. You are nourishing this plant. You are nourishing all the relationships that we can have with plants, with animals. You are shifting because in the past you already realized through the bees some very powerful message, and you are letting go of this intensive thinking. You are realizing the emperor is coming, and the next month you're gonna organize yourself profoundly, focus yourself, bring the people together, right? I don't see it as like something flaring up or anger, but it could be you see the anger out there, you see these, you see the war, right? And you are now recognizing, okay, I can organize this, I can put the focus into this one energy, so that when I use this one energy, the money comes by itself, a new community can grow and blossom into the next sunshine, right? Into where the sun is going, and that's going into Aries, right? The sun is going into Aries, and the sun right now is in the moon. I mean, this reading is so cool. And then the path of love is the only way to shift this curse and to heal what we can heal by doing the work, by actively turning the card around, by actively inhale, go up into the message, exhale, come down, bring the message down, and allow animals and plants to blossom and to be in this 5, in this pentagram, in this richness. That is your message. Wow, 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 so cool. I hope I see you in the next one. The Emperor is here. You will find there the power to really focus and make the next step. It's needed. We need you. We don't need you sitting here. We need you being focused. We need you not sitting here anymore. We need you to move and bring this message down to the earth, and use the healing waters to get here, and use the healing waters to let go of the old, of the very old. Wow, 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 what a reading. I hope I see you then in the next reading. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.